Ready?
Welcome back to Homeopathy at Home with Melissa. Hi, Melissa.
Hey, Bree.
Always really good to be here with you.
Yes, I love it. This is so fun.
It is so fun. And today, again, we're doing a couple of these live streamed while we record. So we may answer some questions as we go along. So if you're listening to the podcast after we publish it, some of the questions we're asking will be live, or that we're answering maybe live questions.
That's right.
And if you're one of our students, we might do this more often in the future. So you'll get early access to these.
Come be a student. Come be a student and get into the private student Facebook page so that you can get early access to the podcast episodes. But also, it's so chock full of questions and answers. And I mean, this is 3 years worth of information that you can search, and people have good suggestions in there. It's extremely rare that I see, if ever, that I see a bad suggestion.
Yeah, I agree. It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see all of our really entertaining behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Before we started recording.
So
really exciting stuff. And Melissa has t-shirts. They're so cute.
Oh, it's so soft too. This I don't know if it's going to be backwards on the video. It says praise the Lord for homeopathy. Yes, I have that one, and that's on the mine. I have that same one on now, but it's just in full color, and I'm not selling the full color ones because there's they're like $10 more.
Yeah,
just for the color.
Black and white looks good.
So I did the black and white. I love black and white. I love black and white. Mm-hmm.
I do too. I actually prefer that.
Wonderful. So go to the website, get your t-shirt, get your mug.
Get your mouse pad. If anybody uses a mouse still at work, I don't ever use one, but I want it on my desk. I actually use it. I would use it as, see? Look,
right
little
here.
cheat sheet. You have a magnet in your kitchen. You could have a mouse pad on your desk.
That's right. Mm-hmm. It's like your little cheat sheet. I love it. Yeah, because I have my whatever this is. This is my mouse. What magic mouse? It's the magic mouse. So I use it on my mouse pad. You know, with the Mac, you don't have to have the mouse pad. But all right. Yeah, go get some stuff on the store if you love homeopathy. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. So before we get started today, we are going to be talking about vaginitis. So in the theme of women's health, we thought we'd do one of our questions that we get either often or just a good question. So I actually had one that I recently asked Melissa after a consult. So Sepia is a really great hormone remedy, and we suggest it often for women who are trying to get their cycle back or get their cycle on track. That's one of the reasons. There are many, but that's just one. So I had asked her if Sepia is not the correct remedy that they've been taking, or taking it too often and it stops their cycle. Well, then what do we do to restore it if Sepia was not the one?
So Calc Carb. So I am seeing this. I wouldn't say extremely often, but I am seeing Sepia stop the period or even shorten. So one follow-up that I did today, the cycle had been shortened, and I thought maybe it was Sepia, so we stopped Sepia. So it didn't stop it. I have seen others, it's the cycle stopped, so we stopped Sepia and we did Calc Carb. So Calc Carb 30C once per day. So for some women, it's like within a few doses, their period comes back. And for other women, it's a couple of months. So everybody's different. Just keep going.
I have found, in my experience with Sepia, I have found that it doesn't need to be a long-term remedy for me, that I can use it a few times and it works well and for a long time. And if I do take it too long, I notice some aggravations in me that they go away as soon as I stop taking it. But I need it very little. So that's just my experience. Take it or leave it.
Me too. Me
But-
too. My first aggravation with sepia was aggravation. I would be so irritated
Yeah.
and then be like, what is wrong with me? And then I would stop taking sepia and it would stop. But see, recently, really just personal story here. I've been really irritated just suddenly. And I'm not normally, I haven't been in a long time. So yesterday I took 1 dose of sepia 30C and I'm just leaving it at that. I'm not planning on doing it regularly and
Mhm.
doing a lot of it. You got to remember sepia was my first remedy ever. And it's been an amazing remedy throughout my life. But yeah, I'll get, and I do believe that it stopped my cycles. So I used Calc Carb to bring them back and I got everything back to normal. Sepia got rid of my monthly migraines. I used to have, oh man, those things are so awful. I used to have terrible PMS, monthly migraines. What else? Other womanly things. And it really did help a lot with all those things. But then I just took it too long. So just, like you, it just it can bring some aggravations. So you just stop taking it if you get aggravated with it.
Yeah.
Calc Carb. Good. So we're talking about vaginitis.
Yeah, we are. And we do have a question. I think we can come back to it.
Go ahead. Let's do it now.
We do it now? Okay. So one of our Facebook watchers asked if chronic yeast is possible to get rid of.
Oh,
Yeast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think I've heard you say anything's impossible to get rid of. So
yeah. So homeopathy can't fix structural things.
okay, true.
Right?
That's true.
And then diabetes. Why can I never remember which type?
We do this every time. We
Every
go back and forth and we can't remember it. So I'm not even gonna try because we
I
just
think
circles.
I'm just gonna look really quick.
Elaine says hello, Brenda.
Who?
Elaine Whalen.
ALIN.
ALEN Elaine Whalen. WH.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I have to. So we usually don't do this on a podcast, but
okay. People are saying there. Okay, Trisha's here. Hey, Trisha. Type 2 is the one that you develop.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is the one that what you develop.
That you develop. Type 1 is genetic. Type 2 you develop. So.
But which one is not curable?
Okay, so we're gonna come back to that.
Okay. I bet somebody knows.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they'll come back on here. Type 1 is an autoimmune disease. So see, I'm still not totally clear.
Which one?
It looks like 1 is not curable. That's what I'm getting from our listeners.
That was what I was thinking from memory from college, is that type 1 is incurable. And so homeopathy maybe can manage symptoms, not maybe can manage symptoms, but you're not going to get rid of diabetes. Type 1. I'm putting it in my notes now. Okay, there.
So today we are covering vaginitis.
Yeah.
Totally off topic from diabetes, but vaginitis is what?
I just laughed and I think I froze up for a minute. Go ahead.
Oh, you did. Yeah. Okay. So vaginitis is inflammation that can result in discharge, itching, and pain. It's usually a change in the balance of vaginal bacteria or an infection. It can also be caused by reduced estrogen levels after menopause or some skin disorders. And I'm sure there are other reasons that you could get it that are not listed there. That was just a brief overview. So it kind of sounds like this subject covers a lot of etiologies.
Yeah. So speaking of etiologies, so allopathic medicines can cause it, antibiotics, birth control pills. I cannot tell you how often I see chronic vaginitis in people who have been on or who are on birth control pills. Of course, like I think you just said, acid alkaline imbalance and vaginitis. Oh, it can also have some emotional etiologies, like or it can include aversion to sex by putting out an odor or discharge. That's like, like sepia, like the cuttlefish. But so sepia is made from the cuttlefish ink. So the ink, okay,
It's
Nemo.
like a safety response.
Yeah. So in Finding Nemo, that's the cuttlefish that inks. Remember that?
Yeah.
She's nervous and she inks. That's sepia. So
No, that's what I'm gonna think of every time I watch that movie.
and so grief, suppressed anger. Ladies, don't suppress your anger. Not just for this, but so many reasons. Suppressed emotions can contribute to chronic conditions like vaginitis or other things, heart conditions, all kind of things. Don't suppress your anger. You know what? If you have anger and you don't know how to talk about it, you don't know what to do, I love the books, Boundaries by Townsend and Cloud. It'll help you. That book can help you know how and when to say no. But it's not just about saying no. It's also about, I think that we wouldn't have anger if we knew how to just talk about things without feeling scared or worried, or, she's going to get mad at me, or, she's not going to like me, or whatever.
Anger is a secondary emotion. It's never the first. It's not like I talk about the feelings wheel, which I know we do this. We get off topic, guys. So if you're here, this is just what we do.
You're learning something somewhere.
Yes. You'll pick something out of here that you like. There's the feelings wheel where the inside there's very few feelings. Anger, they're very generic. And then you go out a little bit and get more and more specific. It's really helpful. So yeah, what you said about we wouldn't be angry if we were able to identify and work through all of those feelings in a perfect world. Right. We wouldn't be left with that. So the body is amazing and will do lots of crazy things when emotions are suppressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in vaginitis, you want to look for miasms. Miasms are a whole different big topic. I do go into that in my mentorship program, and would love to have you join me in the mentorship program to learn more about miasms. But you can also catch vaginitis from your partner, and there can be a susceptibility. So the miasm is the susceptibility. You're susceptible. You are more likely to get vaginitis. And then you can look at the discharge when you're trying to find remedies for vaginitis. Look at the discharge. What color is it? Is there an odor? What's the texture? How often are you having the discharge, and how much? All those things matter. Take note of those things, because the remedies that we're going to talk about tonight we're going to differentiate based on what we just talked about here. So you want to just take turns doing the remedies?
Yeah.
Okay, you go first.
So pulsatilla is good when there is creamy discharge, itching. It can be worse with greasy or fatty foods. And it goes along with an irritated, red, or inflamed vulva. So that's going to be more visible.
Right.
Than maybe other remedies.
Yeah. Okay. Graffitis and aluminum both have vaginal discharge like the white of a raw egg. Clear but sticky, right? So thick and clearer. There can be a lot of it and be constantly flowing.
And then is Thuya the next one?
Yes.
Okay. So we have Thuya is good for yellow-green discharge, vaginal itching, and offensive perspiration.
Yeah. So
So
like,
does that mean like literally sweaty that smells?
yes, like onions. So
Okay.
not, so, I mean, just a regular BO smell can be offensive.
Yeah.
But I always, when people say they're sweaty, I always ask if there's a smell to it.
Mm-hmm.
Does it smell like onions? Does it smell like rotten eggs?
So this is perspiration from your other, like your armpits and stuff.
I
This
think
isn't,
so. Yeah.
okay. So this is the discharge and itching in tandem with maybe having
That's right.
extra smelly BO.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's
Mhm.
helpful.
Yeah. Sanicula and Hepersulf have vaginitis that smells like fish. So that's your bacterial vaginosis, is that fish smell.
Mhm.
And so that's Sanicula or Hepersulf. I would go with Hepersulf first.
Okay. It's probably one that you have on hand more commonly than Sanicula anyway.
Yeah. True.
This just is making me think, I wonder how many of us or women live thinking like this is just normal.
Yeah.
And I
That's-
think we think there's so many things, not just this condition,
Mhm.
but that we live and have accepted as normal.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is helping you maybe even pay more attention to your body in all the ways, like what's
Yes.
going on and what's normal.
Yep.
I'm not sure how to say that next remedy, so you do that one and I will do
No.
Nat Boss.
Okay. Creosote. Remember, this is going to be on the blog, so you can have the spellings of all of our remedies. This has a dark brownish discharge before and after menses and smells like a dead animal. So when you're asking about smell, there might be none, or there might be fish, or it might be, and I've heard women saying that it smells like a dead animal.
Yep.
So that's
Yeah.
creosote.
And it's funny because there are a lot of people who are like, I hope this isn't too much information, or this is going to sound really weird. And I'm like, no, because listen to what we're saying. We're getting very specific.
We've heard it all.
Yeah, the more specific, the better, really.
Mhm.
Nat Foss is number 1 for vaginal discharge caused by dietary indiscretions. So like extra sweets, or you just binge, maybe.
Yep.
And it contributes to that acid alkaline imbalance. So that makes sense.
Yep.
So this could be creamy yellow discharge related to diet.
Yeah.
So you might be needing to take some notes. If you're noticing weird discharge, take notes of food. I don't know that I ever would have thought of that.
Exactly.
Noting food.
Yeah. So taking note, I've done that so many times in my health journey, trying to figure things out. I start keeping a food diary or food log. I've done it lots of different ways. Long time ago, before smartphones, I had a notebook in my kitchen. And every time I or one of the kids, whoever I was charting on, would eat, I would write it down. Now, and since we're talking about women's health, I'll share with you, it's called the P Tracker. It's one of my favorite apps. It's called the P Tracker, and it's P's for period, so it's a period tracker. And I was going to turn my phone around and show you, but it's showing just a little bit of personal information on my home screen that is locked, so you can lock it where nobody else can look in there. But in this app, you can pull up the calendar, you can tap on the date, there's notes. So in the notes section is where I keep whatever I'm trying to track, whether it's food or remedies or headaches, or whatever I'm trying to figure out, the thing I'm doing. And then you click on lifestyle, and you can put your weight. It keeps up with your steps based on your, like you carrying your phone around, exercise, nutrition, water, sleep, temperature, fertility, trying to conceive. And then you can then under that is a place to put all your pills. So that's where I put all my homeopathic remedies.
I have a very
And
similar app that I've used for years.
you have another one that's like this?
Yeah, it's called Kindara. It's Kindara. And it's
Nice.
like a cycle tracker and predictor. And then you
Mhm.
can keep track of if you take your temperature, cervical mucus,
Yeah.
intercourse or not, your cycle,
Yep.
like your period. And then symptoms, like if you, on this one, if you click symptoms, it has a whole list of a bunch
Yeah.
that you can pick from. You have the same thing. Yeah. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
like a million of these. Yes.
Wow. And you
And
can
then
add
drugs and
symptoms.
supplements.
Can you add symptoms in yours?
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. Fun. And then I also have moods. So moods you
Oh,
can,
I don't have that. Wait, hold on. Do I
oh, look at all the moods.
maybe that's under symptoms. Grouchy. That's good.
Angry, anxious, calm, confident, confused, depressed, energized, fatigued. It goes on. So anyway, great apps. So use apps to track things, so that you can figure out what's happening. Why is this happening?
All good.
Okay. Caladium has severe vaginal itching.
And okay, how would you choose between like arsenicum when we're talking about itchy or burny?
I would always start with arsenicum. Arsenicum album is such a great itchy remedy. I really would always start with arsenicum album, which isn't even on our list, and it should be. Arsenicum album and Hepar sulf are going to be great vaginitis remedies.
They're often used together too.
Together. Yep, twice a
So,
day.
yep.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, so something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
And our last one on our notes, but not least, definitely is sepia.
Yeah.
It's number 1 for prolapsed uterus and menopause.
Yep.
So menopause could just be you're going through menopause and it's causing these changes in your body.
Right.
You might get vaginitis before menses,
Mhm.
or that bearing down pain, like your vagina will be just inverted, like come out, which probably feels similar to a prolapsed uterus or the prolapse feeling.
Yes.
So
yeah. So sepia has that feeling of things, like everything's going to fall out.
falling out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And sepia actually literally pulls it back up into place.
Man,
So
it's amazing. Sepia is such a great remedy. So don't be freaked out by what we said in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what we should say about sepia is that if you're still cycling, you need to stop it when you're on your period. Yes. So while you're having your period, you need to take a break from sepia. Another thing that you could do that I don't know that anybody really would do, but it is an option. You could potentize the discharge. So your discharge, you could potentize it. You take and that's again, the reason that I hesitate to mention this is it's a medical process to make a remedy, really. I mean, you take some maybe on a Q-tip or whatever, or a toothpick, and you put it, in your glass little whatever you're going to do, and that's like your mother tincture, and then you dilute it, you put 9 drops for your 1X. I mean, it's just a lot. I would literally only do that if there was nothing else I could do. We're in the end times and there's no buying remedies and there's nothing else I can do, then I would do something like that, because it's really a big process. But that is something that you can do. You can do that with milk too. If there's a certain milk, or even just milk, if you're allergic to milk, you can potentize the milk and then you take it as a homeopathic remedy.
Mm-hmm.
All kind of stuff like that you can do. Your own, if you have a cold, cough, or flu, your own secretions, you can make a remedy.
I'm about to do that after this cough has been here for a million years. I'm going to tell my kids, like, collect your boogers. I'm not going to do that. Okay.
Okay. This was fun again. And
thank you guys.
Join us in a class. We've got tons of classes to choose from on the website, melissacrenshaw.com, under courses. And you can choose. You can click on the start here and look at all the classes that we have to offer. We do some live, there's some just pre-recorded. There's just a lot to do. There's the blog that have lots of free resources on there. We've got the private Facebook page group if you are a student in a class, all kind of stuff. There's just a lot. This shop where you can buy a mug or all the things. So come visit us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time on the podcast. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.